Episode 4, what we have to you... Wow, are you drunk?
Welcome back to another episode of Look What Scott's Wearing.
Howdy, beer pedal nerds alike. Scott.
Brian.
Certified pedal guitar nerd.
Certified beer shitlord.
Yep. It's actually on his, that's on his diploma from UT. Not University of Tennessee, which, speaking of Tennessee, what we have today... Hey, that was a good segue, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Not the two-wheel fucker.
Yeah.
So what we have today is the Chupacabra Overdrive Fuzz Overdrive, however you want to say it, from Mythos Pedals based in Nashville, Tennessee.
The goat sucker.
The goat sucker. Yeah, I think...
If you translate it, Chupacabra.
Yeah, Chupa, suck, cabra, goat.
Immediately already really cool sounding.
Zach, on his descriptor online, was saying that this pedal is really good for driving some amplifiers. Like if you have like a Tweed Deluxe or a Tweed amp or a low wattage Princeton or something, this is really good for driving that, and you can get a really good blend of fuzz and overdrive with it. But if you have a super clean amp like I do, Quilter Mini 101 through a closed back 1x12 cabinet, it drives the amp really well still, but also you can get some nice overdrive with it. So we're just going to kind of dive right in. There's not much to talk about besides volume and gain.
Yeah, it's like all the other pedals had 20 knobs, and this has got 2.
It's got 2, but having 2 knobs, still, there's a world of flavor in the pedal.
Not just a flavor town.
Yeah.
But like a world of flavor.
Super duper weenie wagon.
World of flavor. Like if Guy Fieri made a pedal, and I'm saying it right, Fieri.
Yeah, that's good pronunciation.
Yeah, if Guy Fieri made a pedal, this would be Flavor Town because it's simple but complex. Let that sink in. So here we go. Dry tone. Ah, fuck. So here's my dry tone. Much better. Remember, tune your guitars.
Tuning.
Please. So here is the Chupacabra. We're going to do this at a lower setting. So we're going to keep the volume pretty high, but the gain really low. So, you heard my dry. Even at its lowest setting, super crunchy already. But it's you get that nice overdrive. And now, I'm putting it at midnight. That is that's nice.
I'm about to pair that with this shot of rye whiskey.
We're the Electric PilzNerdz, and he's drinking whiskey.
We're at that part of the day. I like when you said crunchy.
Very
Good
crunchy.
note.
It's, we said in a previous episode?
Episode.
We said in a previous episode, Quithby.
Yeah, it does have the quispy.
It's weird.
Quispiness.
It's quispy, but also it has this really nice smooth edge to it. Like it's got the grit, it's got the quispy.
Which is indicative of a fuzzy.
Yeah, it does.
A fuzz pedal.
You know?
A fuzzy pedal. No, you're right. There's a lot of grit, a lot of hair, a lot of fuzz.
I can hear the tones through all that fuzz though.
But even at its highest setting, where we're going to crank the gain on this, it's still not overpowering. It's still relatively...
Yeah!
It's still relatively mild. It's not it's a loud effect, but it's not...
Clean and harmonious still.
Clean and harmonious with a bit of grit. So on your low wattage amps, they'll drive it, but on your clean 50 to 100 watt amps, you got some room for Flavor Town, bro.
Well, here's the thing. It's the depth of flavor.
Flavor World, remember?
Flavor World. Got all of that. So
it's got some gusto.
It's got some gusto, mucho gusto.
Yeah.
I have to say, Zach Broyles from Nashville, who built this pedal, he did say in his descriptor that this was built for the intent of the early ZZ Top record. So. So we're there. That's it. Tone notes, quispy,
Still fuzzy. Because it is a fuzz overdrive pedal.
Fuzz overdrive, overdrive fuzz.
But it's still clean and crisp and harmonious.
Quith.
And harmonious.
And harmonious. It's simple but complex.
It's begging for those like Latin chord structures, you know, like it's begging for the West Texas desert going into Mexico, that whole like, and you know, Southwest United States like area. Yeah, it's begging for this pedal.
With that, what did you bring to pair?
Today, I brought this Enter Night Pilsner from Stone.
All right.
You probably heard of Stone before.
Arrogant Bastard.
Yeah, they started with the Arrogant Bastard. Well, pretty much that's what kind of their claim to fame. But they're from California, San Diego, precisely Escondido and Richmond, kind of the two breweries. And there's even like I think overseas in Berlin, but I digress. One of the OG, like, you know, American craft against the mold kind of breweries. I think it's time, before I, you know, talk too much about the beer.
Okay.
Let's taste it. Let's first do a hardcore pour.
Hardcore pour. Ooh. Yeah. I think did you mention earlier this is a hoppier Pilsner?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting, like right up front is like the hoppy bitterness. Not the floral, like, or fruity floral, like whatever, like the after flavors of the hops. It's like the immediate bitterness is right there.
Yeah, it strikes as bitter at the front. For me, melds into the, pretty sure there's got to be some sort of American hop situation going on in here. It may be dry hopped, maybe not. Maybe I'll add it on the hot side of brewing.
I mean, I have to know, like, when you say American hop, is that indicative of more bitter?
Sometimes. American hops typically have higher bittering potential than most other hops in the world. But mainly the flavor of American hops is kind of own thing compared to hop growing regions in the world, like, you know, Central Europe, Australia, China, the UK. Yeah, American, you know, the Pacific Northwest is mainly where they're grown. They have their own kind of, you know, super citrusy, piney, resiny, dank fruit, just super aromatic, more just aggressive than most hops from other parts of the world. Typically,
Okay.
Not all the time, but typically.
Yeah, and I'm like, as you were talking, I was sipping on this, and I was just thinking to myself, like, what flavor notes I'm getting. And once the bitterness dies down, I do get a little bit more fruity.
See, once your palate adjusts more to the beer after a couple sips, you can kind of more hone into the underlying nuance of the beer.
It is shocking at first. It is a little bit like shocking, like boom, bitter. And
that's how a lot of beers are to people, and they're like, "No, I don't like this." It's like, just give it more of a second. Give it 3 sips at least, then form an opinion about the beer.
So, you know, like Pilsners, when I associate with Pilsners, is like mild, crackery. I always hate saying the word buttery, but in the most innocent sense for beer, kind of like this butter cracker / kind of bready, like kind of bready beer.
Yeah,
and this
I know what type of the crackers you're talking about specifically. Yeah.
Oh, I could eat 2 of them, and I could eat
he eats them by the sleeve.
Yeah, like a wizard slave. But seriously though, like I could drink this and really picture. I finally get those breadiness at the very end of it, but it's kind of like somebody just squeezed a bunch of lemon and lime on top of a Pilsner.
Yeah, it's like having a Pils, you know, or like a Mexican beer with the lime in it, but they don't use it, not intentionally putting a lime on the beer. It just, because of the hops and whatever hops they put in there, it has this kind of really citrusy thing up front.
Oh yeah,
it's like orange, lemon, and lime.
Yeah, I
kind of all at once.
On the nose, for sure, I get that.
But, you know, I would say what hops are in here. I would say what grain, you know, but Stone is not. I've done as much research as I've patience could afford, and I just couldn't find anything about what's in the beer. So I'm sorry, beer nerds. If you know anything about this beer, that what's in it, what hops, what's grain, but mainly what hops, please divulge that, because I literally looked it up on their website. Hops classified, like that's totally cool.
G14 classified. That's good.
It's not cool, but you know, I get it. Stone's kind of edgy and whatever. We should have mentioned earlier, this is a collaboration beer with Metallica. You know, so they're trying to be all metal, kind of like, you know, putting a Pilsner on Overdrive, and you know, so to speak. Yeah, but yeah, this is a Pilsner it's got more, you know, ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
like
your typical Pilsner is 5.7%. Typical Pilsners are 5 and a little bit lower than 5% alcohol, so it's got a little bit more, you know, oomph. It's got a little bit, yeah, you know.
it's got a lot of ooh yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of that going on.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Honestly, pairing wise, I think this fits. Like, so if you don't have access to this beer, like a hoppier Pilsner would go really well. Not saying that this doesn't go with it. I think this really does go with it. It's just, you know, it's a classic tone that we all know and love, but there's a little bit extra spiciness to it. And I was going to say spiciness.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's a good descriptor.
Yeah, because like it's just like, you know, we have a Pilsner here, and you know, once your palate adjusts, as you were saying,
yeah,
you can actually really dig in and find the flavor and the tone you know and love. Same thing with this pedal. You know that this can do, you know, the crazy thing. But it's also got a little bit of that down home country.
You basically took the words out of my mouth. Best way. Because I listened to this pedal, it's like, oh, immediately thought hot desert, I need a Pils. And I know I'm gonna say, like, almost for every pedal, I'm like, my first thought, because I brew a lot of Pilsners at Live Oak, I'm like, yeah, this would go well with a Pils. But, well, but I wanted a Pilsner with more, it has more oomph to it. Exactly what I was thinking about. I need a Pilsner with more, oomph.
And that's what you get. You get an Overdrive pedal with more oomph. You get a Pilsner with more oomph. With the bitterness up front, for me, I mean, I don't know, what would you rate this pairing? Because I mean, for me, I think it's pretty damn high, if not almost perfect. But
yeah, it's definitely, I think, an 8 out of 10. I mean, I think, echoing what Scott said, choosing a lighter beer but with a little bit more like hop character, or like a Pilsner with a little more hops, essentially, I think that's a good pairing, because you still need, you're in the desert, still need something that's relatively refreshing and light, but it just needs more gusto, which I think this beer provides.
Mucho gusto.
Which the pedal very much provides.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wish I knew what hops were in there. I wish I could tell y'all, but Stone's trying to be all cool. Metallica, they're against the grain. We won't tell them what the hops are. It's like, I'd like to know. It'll help me learn more, but whatever. As a beer, I still really enjoy it. Some other Pilsners that are hopped with American or more aggressive, expressive hops, sometimes are like way too much, way too overboard, but this, looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And tastes, still, after the hops fade, it still has a good bit of maltiness, so that I can tell there's some good malt they use in there. And not just like really basic, flavorless American two-row.
Got it.
I'm not trying to dog on that too much, but
two-row much.
Two-row much. Once your palate adjusts to this level of bitterness, crushable beer.
All right. Well, I would also give it an 8 out of 10. So good pairing, buddy. Yeah, I think we did pretty well on this one.
Right on. And if you're in your market, and you might be able to more likely find Stone, but yeah, find a more hoppy Pilsner.
Absolutely.
I think that's a good pairing if you're jamming out this pedal.
So the Electric PilzNerdz give this one big old ooh yeah! Yeah!